Richard, it's FA Cup weekend, means that little bit more to players and fans, and you said you love the FA Cup. Why?
I do love the FA Cup, and you tend to find that this time of year all the cliches come out about the FA Cup, but they're only cliches because they're true, and it brings everybody together, it brings communities, it brings towns, it brings families together, and hopefully, together in a good way to spur Aldershot Town on into the first round proper.
And it's played a big part in your career?
Yeah, without a doubt. It's where it all started for me, really, in a FA Cup game for Newcastle Benfield against York City, which was the last qualifying round. So you're looking at 2006, you're looking at 9 years ago to the week, really. And we were 7 leagues below York, I think, at the time. We got beat to a Clayton Donaldson penalty, and I had a decent game. I was working at the time, working as a joiner through the week, and I was getting 80 quid for playing on a Saturday. Billy McEwen phoned the club and said we want to sign the lad up front. So I ended up staying for another couple of months, and I signed on the 30th of January 2007, professional terms, and that's where the journey really began.
And that's it. It is for players at that level. It can kickstart your pro career.
Of course it can. And it's like any game, but the magic of the cup, you never know who's watching you. You know, it just takes a little bit of magic, a little bit of luck in your favour, and you never know where it might take you.
But you say it brings communities together. For FA Cup success means different things to different clubs. I think the year you joined Wycombe, they got to the second qualifying round, and that was their best ever run in the competition. So it's not just about reaching the first round, the third round, the final. It can mean a whole lot of things to a whole lot of people.
Of course it can. And for clubs like Aldershot Town at this level, this is where I've sort of played in the FA Cup the majority of my career at conference level, and it's I'm not saying put yourself on the map, because Aldershot are historically on the map, but to have a good run. Yes, we all want the financial rewards, because clubs at our level need a bit of financial stability and a bit of financial bonus, but just to get a good draw against a decent league opposition, and these one-off games, you just don't know what can happen. You see all these shocks, and there is always a shock, and every year you say to yourself, well, let's make it be us this year.
With York, you scored twice in the 3-2 win at Crewe. That was maybe a bit of a surprise, and you got named player of the round. That extra bit of recognition must feel good. Yeah,
and I couldn't go to the final because we had the playoff final against Oxford the next day. But no, it was great. It was against the Crewe side that were flying high in League 2 at the time. I scored 2 goals, and it was 2-2 in the 89th minute. And it's probably, funnily enough, I think in the programme Saturday, it's my favourite goal. Somehow I managed to beat 3 players, and like a bit of a Peter Beardsley shuffle, and I struck it with my right foot, and the feeling was great, and that was to get us in the third round of the cup. But to beat Crewe was a great sort of feat in itself. We drew Stoke City away, which again a Premier League club.
And famously, the York bus got delayed in the bad weather. I think you had to get changed on the bus, but York took the lead. So it was, the shock was on at that point. You think everything that's gone before. Do you think this is going to be your day?
Well, it was. We got stuck in traffic. It was bad weather, and it's not really a long distance travel, but it was one of them things that couldn't really be helped. York took 4,000 there. We actually had to warm up for 10 minutes, and there was no kick-off delay at all. We just had to get on there. We did take the lead, but Stoke was a Tony Pulis Stoke with a big physical, strong side that ended up coming out on top. But it was a great day, and I've been really lucky to play in the third round on more than one occasion, and a lot of players don't get to do it even once. But at the same time, I'm 28 and I want more of it. I really do.
Those big rounds, particularly where you've got an unusually large away following. You say York took 4,000. I think Crawley would have taken 9,000 to Old Trafford, which we'll come to in a minute. But at Stoke, at Derby, at Old Trafford, does the atmosphere hit the opposition? When you walk out, do you think, wow?
Yeah, you do. But at the same time, you've got to realise that it is 11v11 on the day. Yes, it's a bigger stadiums, and yes, it's there's more fans there. But even the likes of the Stoke City fans and the Man United fans who support Man United, they love to come to see the non-league teams, to see the teams that aren't favourite come and try and apply their trade at that level. And that's why I say it brings communities together, because it does. Last year at Southport used to get 800 to 1,000 fans. All of a sudden at Derby you've got 3,000 fans there that never shut up, and it spurs you on. It does spur you on as a player.
Yeah. But does it give you that lift, or does it take? I suppose it's maybe a mentality of individual players. Does it take some players a little bit of time to get over the occasion and start playing the game?
It definitely gives me a lift personally. Definitely 100%. Even now on a Saturday playing Bromley at home, when you've got an East Bank singing or singing your name, it definitely gives me a boost. And there was nothing better for me to come off against Aldringham and got the reception that I did of these fans here, who have supported me since I've got here. So we for me, and I'm probably speaking for the majority of the boys, we know they will get behind us, but we want them to continue getting behind us, and obviously we want to give them something to cheer about.
Yeah. On to 2010-11, and I suppose the classic cup run. It begins with a potential banana skin at Guiseley, where you come through that superbly, win 5-0. Then the momentum builds. You get Swindon in a replay, Derby, Torquay, and that momentum builds. When you get through a couple of rounds, do people start to get a bit excited? You think, we wonder where this can lead? Of
course, yeah. Funnily enough, Phil Smith played a goal for Swindon that day. We beat Swindon over 2 legs on the coldest Friday night I've ever played in at Swindon. But it was all worth it to draw Derby in the 3rd round with a Robbie Savage, to beat Derby, and then all of a sudden you're thinking, hold on. And then, no disrespect, we draw Torquay away in the 4th round, who were bottom of League 2. Went there, won 1-0, and I was actually in the Reds bar at the football club where all the lads were at the time for the draw. And when we see Man United away, it was just, another cliche, it's what you dream of as a little boy, isn't it? To go and play in the FA Cup against Man United, and to go there, there was 74,500 people there. Believe it or not, you couldn't hear Steve Evans shouting, which I think is a good thing, because the fans drowned him out. So that is a positive on the side of the fans being there.
Yeah, and I remember when Old Trafford drew Manchester United in the League Cup, and just the reaction that day. The draw was immediately before kick-off, and just it was almost as though the game itself didn't happen. There was disbelief at the draw that had just been made. The excitement there. How did the players kind of keep a lid on it?
I think you've got to keep a lid on it, because it's the league games are our bread and butter, and we have to win league games. And looking at it on the other side, we're going into this cup tie on Saturday against Sutton, losing 1 in 5, unbeaten in the last 3. So we've got a positive attitude about ourselves at the minute, and we're confident that we can go and do something. But as far as the draw goes, you've just got to sort of really put it in the back burner until the tie comes, and take each game at a time.